Everybody, this is Angel Rebo with Expansion Network, as you know, accelerating the consciousness of humanity every single day. And as you know, this is Angel Rebo, known here in the US as the CEO confidant in the world of business, and known in Latin America as the president and co-founder of the Wisdom for Kids Foundation. And we are here today. Today is Saturday. It's April the 3rd already, 2021. And we are here with Kamil Czubacki. Hi, Kamil. How are you?
Hey, good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Kamil is the CEO of a company called AumBio, and the reason why Kamil is here and we want you to know more about AumBio is because what they do is really revolutionary. They have been doing it for a long time, and it's really changing the way that people are being healed in the world. It was so fascinating when I learned about it through actually a common friend of ours that I said, you know, we have to have Kamil in a show. So again, thank you very much for being here with us. And would you mind explaining a little bit more, what does AumBio stand for?
Sure. So it's alternative universal medicine. And if some of you know, was the first sound ever made, was Am. So it's AUM. And when I first joined my company 13 years ago, my father started it 30 years ago. And I asked my dad, I'm like, where did you get this Am from? I didn't understand. And he told me that is the very first sound a baby makes as it's being born. And I was like, oh, that's really great. I had no idea. And some people have heard about it. I haven't. And we turn into alternative universal medicine because what we do is we heal people, and we do help with imbalances, with a lot of other many different problems, from stress to discomfort, hormonal, stop smoking, weight loss, health and wellness.
Awesome. Well, speaking of babies, by the way, we can hear the baby at the
back. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, my baby's crying downstairs.
Don't be sorry. The reason why I'm mentioning it first, because we know there's a baby in the background.
Yes.
But we also, you know, here in the Expansion Network, and we value very much, you know, that we all have families and we all have our own reality. And I think it's very important that we all become aware that, you know, the families is our future. So I think it's amazing that you have a baby. So what's his or her name, Kamil?
So his name is Sebastian, and he's 4 months old right now, and he's a blessing. We're so blessed to have him.
4 months old. Oh my God, that's nothing. So you are really a very recent dad.
Yeah. I'm very lucky. I have a great wife, so I'm very lucky.
Awesome, extraordinary. So we would like to know a little bit more about you. I mean, you told us about your father that started the company. You said 30 years, yes. 30 years ago. So I guess then that you were raised within a family that was already really concerned about health. Would that be an accurate statement?
Absolutely. My father, he's a vegan, doesn't eat meat, has done yoga and meditation for 30 years. Even before it was popular, 30 years ago, he was under a tree doing the yoga poses. And as a 5-year-old, I didn't know what he was doing, but now I know.
So, and how would you say that this affected your life? How does, compared to other kids your age, how do you think that you actually were growing up differently?
Well, I was definitely more aware of alternative options, because when I was born in America, I was born in Chicago. And they mostly taught me in school, you know, doctors, medications, surgeries, this is the way to go. And my father always had a different option. And I didn't understand when I was young what he really did until I started working with him. And when he explained to me, he talked to me about energy and balancing things out. I'm like, well, what do you mean? And then I saw it firsthand. A client would come into our office, we'll do a evaluation to see exactly where the problem areas are, the imbalances are, or they come in and they know what's wrong with them. They'll say, hey, I have this chronic issue for this long. Can you do anything for me? So the client will come in, let's say that they're having head pain or migraines, and they might have it for a couple of days, they might have it for a couple of years. They would come in, we'll see why they have it. We have tools to see exactly where the problem areas are. And then they would go and be connected to our wellness device. Okay, so the client comes in, they lay down on this modulation mat, we put in specific programs. All these therapies are pre-programmed with parameters. So one's for head relief, one's for physical discomfort, weight loss, nicotine. We do over 3,000 different issues. So the client comes in, they lay down on the modulation mat, you put in the number 1, 2, 3 for head pain, and an electromagnetic wave would come from the wellness device to the client. And as they're laying on the modulation mat, they tell us, oh my God, I feel better. Within sometimes 5 seconds, sometimes 5 minutes, depending on what issues are, but they feel the results pretty quickly. And we will do a couple sessions. Usually we'll choose 4 different problems to choose at one time. They could choose anywhere from stress to maybe a stomach issue or bloating. And then after 4 therapies with 4 different sessions, we'll do another evaluation and see how they are, see if they have improvements. And every time they come in, we ask them, are you feeling better? Is this helping you? And we always are individual to the client.
Why? I mean, what's the origin of this technology? What would you say? I mean, why does this technology work?
So it's based on quantum physics, okay, on cells. I think you've read the book, The Intention Experiment, before. Yeah. And in the book,
by Lynn McTaggart, by the way.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. So I just started reading the book, and it resonates with me. What I do when I start reading, I'm like, oh my God, this makes a lot of sense because I see this. So in the book, I believe in chapter 2, there was a portion in the book where there was an old TV set. And you'd mess with the antenna. You would change the antenna to get the right signal. And that's being transmitted from somewhere else. And a person goes there, a child, and he's messing with this TV, and he puts his finger in the area where the antenna should go, and he gets perfect picture because that information is being sent to him, and he is the antenna, and it's going into the TV. So we are transmitters. We accept energy. We have a lot of cells that could mutate and change at any time. And this is what the device does. It's specific parameters to help send information, the electromagnetic waves, to the client's body to heal in that specific area. And it's not invasive, it's safe, been around for over 70 years. Technology has gotten better in the last 40 years. And it started in Germany. Tesla did it. Einstein used to call it spooky science because they couldn't really explain how things were connected, and they went through quantum entanglement. We could talk about that a little bit later. But the results speak for themselves. I've been doing this for 13 years. We've had over 45,000 clients. So it must be working since we have consistently helped these clients that they couldn't get help anywhere else. And it's not because it was their fault, what they're doing, diet. Sometimes the body needs extra support, and this was a different way of healing. And it's great. I love what I do, and I help a lot of people.
Does this machine have a specific name?
So there's a couple machines. I don't want to promote anybody, but if people want to ask us, they could contact us because we do use a couple of different devices. Okay,
so there's more than one, let's say, devices out there available.
Okay, absolutely.
So that you actually use for your sessions.
Correct. Yes.
And you actually just mentioned many different conditions, right? And they have really they're very apart in the, let's say, in the range of health. So why would you say that the technology works for so many different things? What do they? Maybe the question would be, what do the different health conditions have in common, according to your experience, Kamil?
So they're all based on the imbalances. We all have imbalances. Cells are healthy and not healthy. And this device can pinpoint those specific cells to improve, to naturally heal. So we've talked about, I'm sure you've heard of Reiki before.
Yeah.
Reiki, how a person would send their energy to a client and they'll have the healing. So this is putting Reiki or information like that very specifically into scientific parameters that sends that information and it heals. And over the course of 70 years, 40 years, and most recently, it's gotten better. It's gotten to a point where a lot of practitioners, doctors, and vets have used it for a long time. They've had a lot of experience, and they said, okay, this specific parameter helps with back pain. This specific parameter helps with maybe some inflammation of the belly. This one helps with the head relief. And that's when we get the program. So a lot of people have done the work for us, and we are benefiting now because there's so much information out there. That's why we do so many different things. They get specifically, you could do panic attacks, or you could do stress or depression. Those are all different therapies, different parameters. And maybe one person needs it specific for stress, one for depression, one for panic attacks. I even had a client come in, great story, that one of my favorite ladies, and she had panic attacks for 7 years, 8 to 10 times a day. When she came in for the evaluation, she started crying within 5 minutes. And she said, this is why I'm here. I can't control this. I have a problem. I said, okay, we did the evaluation. We had to do some therapy for her. We even gave her a chip that she would take home with her. It's like a necklace. It gives therapy slowly, not as intensely when you come in, when you're not there. So we made copies of her programs, the panic attacks, stressors, whatever she came up with. And then I saw her a week later. She comes up to me and says, does it work this fast? And I'm like, what do you mean? She had had a panic attack for 7 days. Wow. And she had it for 7 years. And that was 6 months ago. Yeah. Those are the results we get.
Wow. You mentioned that you have 40,000+ people that you have already helped with the technology. What's the most common way that people get to know about you? Do they do like a research online, or do they is it word of mouth? What would you say is the number
referrals,
one?
word of mouth, results. People don't know what we do. They don't understand it, especially when I joined 13 years ago. I looked up the technology 13 years ago. Everything was negative. Everything was negative. Nothing was right. I told my dad, look what they're saying about your technology. They're saying that it doesn't work. It's quackery. And my father says, look at the results. You see it with your own eyes. You see people getting better. So that was 13 years ago. I recently went about 3 months ago. I had some time with my baby. I was at home. So I did some research, and I did the same research I did 13 years ago. And now it's half positive. It's half positive. It's completely flipped in 13 years, meaning they can't stop progress. We know this works. We see it work. Many doctors, vets, practitioners, over 10,000 have been using this around the world. It's very common in Europe and very common in Asia and South America. And the results speak for themselves. Read our reviews online. Do your own research. It's finally out there that this is natural healing using quantum physics, quantum entanglement, the cells imbalances. It's really amazing stuff.
According to your experience, is there any medical condition that this technology cannot solve?
Well, like if you would have a stab wound, I can't close up a stab wound. If you have a herniated disc and the disc is displaced, I can't help with that. Maybe some relief. We could do relief, but we're not putting that back. Apart from those other things, we could do many things, but not the hard physical things where you actually have to put back a bone. We don't do those kind of things.
And is it possible that, for instance, more seasonal kind of conditions like flus and maybe bacteries or
allergies,
or allergies?
Allergies, we do great with allergies. We'll find out which allergies you have first, and then we will give you some therapy, and you'll let us know how you are, because people know their bodies. They know their problem areas. They know when they're feeling bad. They know when they're feeling good. And that's how our technology works. They tell us, oh my God, I was usually this so stuffy in springtime. I'm not stuffy anymore. Or I had a client who was a child, and he wasn't going to school maybe once a week. He was so sick. He was just sick, and they gave him antibiotics. They gave him other medications. They even changed his diet, exercise, and he continually was sick because he was weak. And then he found us through a friend. They came to our centers. We did evaluation. We did therapy. And then after that first week, he went back to school full time.
Wow.
Yes.
I imagine that after so many cases and so many years, you have a very specific opinion about what the human body is, right?
It's amazing.
Exactly. Yes. So my question is, have you ever come to a conclusion like the human body is able to really self-heal itself from almost anything?
Absolutely.
Is it too much of an statement for me to say?
So in my experience, with the support of these devices, your body can heal naturally. Because what this is doing, these wellness devices, they're just helping your body heal. Sometimes you can't do it by itself, but this wellness device is promoting self-healing. That's what it's doing. So I meet a lot of Reiki people, a lot of self-healers, and they can heal other people, but they can't heal themselves. All right. That's the thing that comes up. I just had a lady call me yesterday and we talked over the phone. She's in New York and she's been sick for a couple of months and she's going to send some information over. We're going to try to help her. And she can't heal herself. With these devices, we're using your own body to heal. That's all it's doing. It's saying, get this information from this wellness device to the body, and it's triggering your body to improve in that specific area.
You just mentioned someone who is not in your, let's say, in your backyard. So she's actually a few hundreds of miles away. Yes. So, so I mean, does the technology still work even if the person is not local and she or he cannot go to one of your locations? Is that and how is that possible?
So now we're going into quantum entanglement. Okay. Just like we talked about in the book, the receiver, we're all receivers, and our body has substances that could connect remotely, that the Reiki healers, they could heal remotely using intention or whatever they're thinking. With us, it's the same thing, but we use other substances from the body. I think we talked about, I showed you before. So a client would send us the substance from the body, depending on what they have. We'll get the sample, and usually the client would come in to my office and be connected to the wellness device. But with options, when we don't have people in our home state, we could do it remotely. So they'll mail it to us through the mail. We'll actually take that substance, we'll put it into the wellness device. And let's say a client has head pain or migraines in Florida. They would call me and say, hey, I have head pain right now. I will take the substance, put it onto the wellness device, put in that 123 number for head pain. And as I'm on the phone with them, they're in Florida. I'm on the phone with them in Chicago, and their head pain goes away within 10 to 15 seconds of the information going. Okay. Wow. I've also done tests to see if it's not a placebo effect. So I'll be on the phone with these people. They would have the head pain or any other general pain that's a sharp pain. And I would tell them I'm turning on the device when I don't turn it on to see what the reaction is. And it's never worked. The information has to go to the sample for them to heal. It doesn't work until the information goes to the sample and then they feel it wherever they are.
Wow. You mentioned 45,000 people that you have already been able to help. Yep. I guess you would like to help hundreds of thousands and probably millions of people, right? So absolutely. What do now let's talk a little bit about business. Sure. What do you guys have in mind? What do you think is the best way to be able to help people? Because at the end of the day, you're doing so much good, right?
Yeah. So, well, just contact us. If you're having issues that are very tough and chronic problems that's been there for a long time, contact us, talk to us, do testing, feel it out, and then you'll have the opportunity to advance the technology. We're this past year, we are finally have more opportunities to open more centers in the United States. So anybody that's interested in doing something like this with us, please contact us, get information, do your own research. And if you want to open a center in your location, we are starting this year.
Okay, so what you're saying basically is that you are open to have other people, let's say practitioners, to learn the technology, to learn the techniques, and to be able to help you along the way. Is that some sort of agreement? You have partnerships in place? How does that work from a business perspective? Yeah. So
we're building a franchise this year. We have more opportunity this year than the past 30 years that my dad's has been doing it. And we're even opening more locations right now. The technology has gotten cheaper, which is great. They came up with a newer device that's very affordable compared to the other devices. And we have great training, support, and it's pretty easy to learn and it's easy to do. And it should be everywhere. This is the future. I really believe it. It's natural healing. And it's already very common in Europe, very common in Asia. They have this in Poland, my home country of Poland. They have 500 locations, 14 in Warsaw alone, 13 in Poznań, 10 in Krakow. So those are major cities. So it's very common. Doctors have been using it for a long time, vets, practitioners. In America, we know it's a little bit different, that they have a different system here, but it is changing. I remember even 25 years ago when people talked about chiropractic or yoga, it was taboo. You don't do that. You don't go to a chiropractor. And now look how it is, because people are going that way. They're going more of the holistic, natural way compared to what they're stuck on now.
Wonderful. If the people would like to know more, please, could you please tell them exactly how they can contact you, Kamil?
Sure. So you go to our website and email us. Our website is AumBioCenter.com. Again, that's AumBioCenter.com. Just go to our website, send us an email. We'll send you over information wherever you guys want to know, schedule a phone call. We have a lot of information, a lot of presentations. So just let us know what you like and we'll be there for you.
Wonderful. Hey, Kamil, thank you very much. It's a fascinating technology. Let me tell you, all of you, the first time that Kamil and I met online, because I'm in Texas and he's in Illinois, actually he showed me the machine, and really it's fascinating. Kamil said, very well said, that we both know the work of Lynn McTaggart and many other neuroscientists. I always say that, why not? If there's anything in your life, in your body, in your physical body that's bugging you, anything, why not? Why not trying another opportunity, another option? And as you know, here we are in the Expansion Network, always open to share with you, technologies and people who are changing the world every single day, like Kamil Czubacki and his entire family. Thank you very much for being with us today, Kamil. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you so much, Angel.
Absolutely. And for everybody here with us today, I'm sure that you have enjoyed this conversation with Kamil as much as we have. Please get in touch with him. I think it's really worth it. Give that a try. It can easily change the way that you see your physical body and you see your health, not only yours, but also your friends and your relatives around you. And we hope to see you soon in our next interview. Thank you very much again for being with us today, and have a wonderful rest of the day.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.